My name is Katie Yates, and this is Season 4 of the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife's podcast, Fishin' Game Changers. In this series, Take Aim, I'm talking with hunters of different backgrounds to learn about their first steps hunting. I'll be hearing from former vegetarians, new adult hunters, and longtime outdoor enthusiasts with aspirations of becoming registered Maine guides like Dan Rice.
Hi, this is Dan Rice. I'm from Pittston, Maine, 23 years old. I work for Augusta Fuel doing plumbing and heating. In my free time, when I'm not working, I love to be on the water fishing or in the woods, walking through the woods and sitting in a tree stand.
Unlike many of the folks I interview on this podcast, Dan does not work for our department or any type of conservation organization.
For my job, I'm a service tech. I pretty much go around fixing a leak to a plug sewer, cleaning a boiler, cleaning a furnace. Pretty much I just do repair work and maintenance on a lot of people's stuff.
He enjoys his job because of the variety. It's always something different, and he gets to meet and talk with new people. Throughout our convo, I quickly learn Dan likes meeting new people almost as much as he likes hunting and fishing.
Yeah, it's something different every day. You learn a lot, meet different cool people.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like who?
Oh, I've met some police officers before. We go to all the Hannafords from Topsum to Rumford. Get to talk to a lot of cool store managers about moose hunting, especially the ones up north more.
Dan's connection to the outdoors started young. Most of his memories hunting, fishing, and exploring are from when he was 10 years old and younger.
What are some maybe of your first memories outside when you were young?
Probably catching frogs. I love catch bullfrogs, and I'm 23 and I still love to go catch bullfrogs and stuff.
I think everyone likes catching frogs.
Yeah. But I was always outside catching frogs, or I said being out in the woods walking. When I was probably 4 years old, my dad, he helped me catch my first largemouth off my parents' dock, and ever since then I was hooked. The biggest one that I've caught is 5.5 pounds, and I was 5 years old fishing out of my dad's nitro bass boat, and that one is on the wall because that was my biggest bass.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. I love doing it.
Since catching that giant bass as a kid, there's actually a picture of him struggling to hold up the fish nearly as big as he is on his Instagram page. Dan has become a bass fishing fanatic. He spends a lot of time researching, learning, practicing, and pre-fishing. Dan's even stepped into the world of fishing tournaments. For someone as obsessed with fishing as Dan, what could be better than just another excuse to spend all day on the water?
I just joined the Bass Club earlier this year. Met him at a boat show at Augusta Civic Center, and they were flipping a jig. One of the guys asked me if I wanted to come over and try flipping a jig, and I'd never flipped one before. So you can flip it under a boat dock or flip it into pads, so you're just making short casts. I always wanted to learn how to do that, and he taught me how, and we talked about bass fishing a lot, and he said, I have to fish a tournament. He's like, don't be intimidated, just go out and have fun and fish. And I did. And it is the best thing, and I hope to someday fish FLW tournaments and take it really far.
What is FLW?
It's just it's almost like Bass Masters and stuff. It's just a really big fishing league. I'm still learning a lot of stuff about them, but they tour all over the place. Like they went out to Champlain and go all these big lakes all over, and that's just something I want to do.
So have you traveled much to go fishing?
I haven't traveled out of state to go fishing at all, just around Maine.
Where are some of your favorite places to go?
Favorite place is Cobbessy Stream, Damascotta Lake, where I just had a tournament there Saturday, and Messalonsia Lake. I get up really early to go practice and pre-fish lakes and stuff.
So what do you mean by that?
I'll go 2 weeks ahead of time if I'm not super sure of the lake, and find out what they're biting on, how deep they're at, and just pretty much where they're going to be. And I'll pre-fish it, and hopefully that tournament day I can go back to those spots and toss the bait I was doing when I was practicing and hopefully have good luck. Getting that fish to bite, it's just awesome. I love it. Pulling a fish through lily pads, just fooling the fish. I love doing it. It's awesome seeing that explosion on top of the water. It puts a smile on my face every time. I absolutely love it.
Almost every memory Dan tells me about fishing or hunting, he brings up his dad, mom, fiance, or family in general. Even more important than the harvest, connection to family, friends, and nature are what make time spent outside worthwhile.
Does your fiance like to go fishing?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
She's not as into it as much as I am. I mean, I'll fish. I'll go out and fish 12 hours.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
This is dedication.
Oh, yeah, dedication. It's my thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just what I do. But no, she goes sometimes with me, and she can show me up.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Like fishing, Dan started out hunting with his dad at a very young age. For him, this is truly a lifelong passion.
I mean, I was introduced to hunting at a very young age. Growing up, I would always watch hunting shows with my dad. From Michael Waddell to Bill Jordan, watching Monster Bucks from the 90s. I absolutely love it. I find no better peace and comfort sitting in a tree stand. Or in a turkey blind, or in a bear stand, or in a duck blind. I think it is the absolute best escape.
Escape from...
Working all week.
Yeah.
Look forward to climbing up in that tree stand in November and just peace and quiet. Getting in that stand early, listening to the woods wake up, the birds chirping, being in that turkey blind, listening to them gobble off the roost. I think that is the greatest thing.
Yeah.
And I love it. Deer season, the day before, it's like my Christmas Eve.
As we chat, I'm struck by the moments Dan shares with me. It's not a monster buck he scored or the biggest tom he's ever harvested. It's the times he actually didn't harvest anything at all that seemed to stand out because he saw something, learned something, or spent quality time with someone important to him. He knows he's not always going to fire his gun. In fact, most of the time, he's not. In Dan's words, that's why they call it hunting and not shooting.
Getting them or not, even if I see one and don't get the chance to harvest it, I still think it is the coolest thing.
Yeah. Why?
Just watching that animal do what it's doing in its natural habitat and just seeing something. It's just awesome.
You don't get to kind of experience that any other time. Other than when you're sitting in a tree stand waiting.
No, when they don't know you're there and you can fool a turkey or fool a deer, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Are you successful every year?
Not every year,
Yeah.
but turkey hunting I have more success with. Deer hunting, I do pretty decent, but I don't always get one every year.
Yeah. I mean, it's
see a lot.
challenging.
It is challenging.
Yeah. I think people think it's easy, but it's not.
Nope, it's hunting. It's hunting. It's definitely not shooting. Even if you see the biggest buck out there and you don't get a shot at it, it's still a cool story to bring back to camp, tell mom and dad, or tell the wife, or tell the husband, or tell anybody what happened out there. It's still pretty cool.
What's a favorite?
Turkey hunting.
That's your favorite?
I love turkey
Spring?
hunting. Oh yeah, spring
Okay.
turkey season. I love it.
Is that because do you call them?
I do a mouth call to bring a turkey from wherever he drops down off the roost into you. I think that is awesome. Having him coming in on a string, gobbling like crazy. I love it. That's my favorite kind of hunting.
Yeah. Interactive.
It is so cool to watch a tom turkey on a nice morning come in gobbling his head off, coming into your decoys, you're fooling him. It is awesome. And I remember going turkey hunting with Dad. He'd take me out of school. And this was before I was 10. He'd take me out of school, and we go sit in the blind. And that's cool, watching your dad call a turkey in. But yeah, I was into it at a really young age.
What are some of your first memories hunting as a kid?
Me and Dad went deer hunting. We put my mom on a stand, and then I went with Dad. We sat up on a ridge, and then a few hours go by, we hear a shot, and it's Mom. She got a nice doe. It was back in a bog, and we're just looking for this deer, and Mom found it, and I was super excited, and I started running to her, and we're in a bog now, and I was pretty short. I went swimming, and it's November, and I was pretty cold, but that was just a fun memory and a great thing to do with friends and family. It's definitely fun, and it brings great memories that you'll always have.
Have you taken your fiance out?
I took her out opening day of rifle season. I was doing some grunting, rattling, and did a little doe bleat, and a buck actually come out, and the look on her face is was priceless. It was like, she has big, beautiful blue eyes. I looked over at her, and it was like she's seen a ghost. She was just frozen there. We didn't end up getting a deer, but it was still cool to take her out and actually see a deer.
Okay, so I'm starting to put the pieces together. Dan is a passionate, enthusiastic, dedicated outdoors person who loves meeting new people and helping people connect to hunting and fishing resources. So I'm thinking, is this someone who wants to become a registered Maine guide?
Have you thought about becoming a guide?
Yes, I'm actually looking for a guides class to take.
Registered Maine guides are outdoor professionals who are licensed and permitted to take people out hunting, fishing, and exploring in Maine. Licensing for registered Maine guides first began in 1897. During that first year, 1,700 individuals became licensed, primarily in the hunting and fishing disciplines. Over the years, canoe trips gained popularity as well. There are currently approximately 6,300 licensed guides in the state of Maine. Registered Maine guides are there to safely and successfully connect you to the activities you want to pursue, regardless of your skill level.
I love bass fishing. I love seeing people catch something cool and the smile on their face, and I love going out hunting. My father's a guide.
Is he really?
He is. I'd love to become a Maine guide to take people out bass fishing, teach them how I do it. I'd love to take people out turkey hunting. I'd love calling. I'd love to just be there to call in a turkey and having somebody who's never gotten a turkey before get a turkey. But I am looking for a guides class, and that's definitely what I would love to do. I want to jump right into it.
You should do it.
I'm gonna. I want to. I might need a bigger bass boat for it, but that'll come as time goes on.
It's a business investment.
It is a business investment. I mean, if I could be on the water 8 hours fishing and meeting new people, being in the turkey woods, meeting new people, I think that'd be the coolest thing. Because that's something I would love to do, is be out showing people what it's all about.
Do you have a guiding business name picked out in your mind?
I think about that a lot. I knew it.
So I ask the future Maine guide, what's some advice for new hunters out there?
Have patience, enjoy it. It's a fun thing to do. And if you're out hunting and you get a shot to harvest a deer, turkey, or bear, whatever, and you miss, don't get discouraged. Laugh at yourself because I miss, and I'd rather miss than wound it. And know that you just educated one more animal out there. No, it's a great thing to get into, the harvest, for management, and it's just a great sport. And I hope to see a lot of younger generation enjoying it as much as I do. Start with turkey hunting because it's a little warmer. There's more action, I think, in it. Mm-hmm. And you're going to build confidence when you see how fun it is. And then go duck hunting where there's a lot of action. Have fun with it. Go with somebody who knows their stuff and what they're doing. Yeah, hook up with a guide. Hopefully when I get my guide's license, give me a shout. I'd love to take people and just make new friends along the way.
You'd be a good mentor for people that are interested in getting into it.
I don't even have to be fishing or hunting. As long as I'm there helping somebody and watching somebody catch their first bass or kill their first turkey, I think that'd be the coolest thing.
I think I'm going to entitle your episode Dan Rice, Future Guide.
That's a good tone to it.
In next week's episode, I chat with one of those adult onset hunters who happens to be a gamekeeper at our wildlife park in Gray. To learn about this podcast and for some hunting resources, visit mefishwildlife.com/changers. If you're enjoying this series, hit subscribe on your favorite listening app. And if that happens to be the Apple Podcast app, give us a rating and let us know what you think.